Boys, welcome back to another video. I am a sleepy boy. I got up at 4 AM to watch the Las Vegas Grand Prix. And in that Grand Prix, there was something that reminded me that there was a topic I wanted to talk about in War Thunder. One of the teams, the McLaren drivers, both of them had their cars disqualified for making illegal modifications. And that specific wording is what Gaijin uses when they ban people for using cheats. They say people have been banned for using illegal modifications to the game. And it reminded me that there's a change to the anti-cheat that I wanted to talk about. So that's what this video is going to be about. So what you might not realize is actually running anti-cheat in the game is actually optional. So keep in mind, I believe that anti-cheat is required for all battle ratings when it comes to ground realistic battles. But the change that has been implemented is that for air arcade battles, ground arcade battles, and air realistic battles, the minimum required battle rating that anti-cheat is required at is now 8.0, whereas previously it was 11.0. Now, bearing in mind I'm not a game developer, but I'm very interested into the reason why they don't just run anti-cheat on all matches at all battle ratings. I'd be curious to hear if you have any opinions on this, but my immediate thought is it's a combination of three different things. The first, and what I think to be the most likely, is as a cost-saving measure. If you're not running analysis on every single game happening all the time, it's going to cost less to run the anti-cheat. The second would be that perhaps they were previously running anti-cheat on all games and they found that there wasn't enough people cheating in those specific game modes. And the third, it might just be as simple as they're not that useful in the specific game modes that I mentioned. But bearing in mind, obviously I've never used the cheats, so that's just based on my vague understanding of what they can do for you. From my own experience, there's only been one player that I've run into that I knew for certain was cheating. It was around the time, I think, the Object 279 grinding event. So that was the April Fool's that was in space, where you could control those little space robot mech things that shot machine gun bullets and stuff at each other. But when I was grinding that event, there was a very specific match that I remember on the Poland ground map, and I was already kind of annoyed at how ridiculous and how much grinding this event had. And then this person killed, I think, my Chieftain Mark III in such a ridiculous way that I immediately watched the server replay and immediately realized that there was no chance that this person didn't have some extra help. Now, bearing in mind, this was way before War Thunder had an official anti-cheat system built into the game. There just was no protection at this point. It was all built on player reports. And because I was already annoyed, I went to incredible effort to write a very detailed player report. It wasn't just me who died in a very suspicious way during that battle. There were several other moments that I gave the moderators exact minute and second time code markers so they could see exactly what I was talking about, and gave a very detailed explanation of why each thing could not be possible in normal gameplay. And I don't want to brag, but I swung once and we hit once, because in the next month's list of announced player bans, that player was on the list. But anyway, that's what's changed about the game and my personal experience with the subject. I'm curious to hear what any opinions that you have about it. And with that being said, see ya!